All of us are not brothers and sisters. We have our own family, our own children. So if you can give a base to the child in the family as a mother and a father, so that we know already foundation. When we want to make a big building, always what we do is the foundation will be, the building will be stronger. So the same way in LKG, UKG, primary sections, when we make the base, the foundation of the student in mathematics, the foundation is stronger, then the bigger classes. It will be easier for them to build up over it. So according to me, every person, you are a father and mother, also mathematics is important, since we need to train our own children. So with this introduction, I will come to the next point, that is, what are the main challenges a primary teacher face when we go to class to teach mathematics? There are some challenges we face. Those who are mathematics teacher, every teacher face challenge, but especially those who are mathematics teacher, we know that one, we are facing a lot of challenge. So what are the first challenge I feel, that is to introduce the concept to them and make them understand the concept. For example, if I am a science teacher, when in science, if I want to teach a topic like phases of the moon, I want to teach phases of the moon, so I can go to the class and explain to the students, today evening, when it dark falls, you just go into outside and just look at the moon. And you can even ask them, you draw the shape of the moon today. And after 3 days again, you watch the moon again. And again 3 days after. So this way, the different phases of the moon you can picturize and do. So the concept actually is very clear to the child, because it is a natural phenomena and it is in front of him already. Since it is in front of him, it's understood, that is, for him it is concept is clear. But when we go to with the mathematics, what is the problem? The concept to make the clear, it is almost becoming abstract for the child. Nothing to see. So for him, it is becoming a very big problem, and a teacher, it is becoming a very big problem, that is the concept, how to make it clear to the student. And the second thing is, how to make the class, as my topic, that is joyful mathematics. How to make the class interesting, joyful, happy, so that the child will be able to benefit from us. So that is the second challenge a teacher faces. Then again coming to third one is how to overcome the fear of mathematics. When we go back to the children's history or this many years of experience of teaching, when we look, and actually many of the students, they are scared of mathematics. Why they are scared of? Because they may have got some background. Parents may be forcing them from beginning, telling them that one, mathematics is such an important subject, you have to score full marks here. So maybe some different background, but the children, many of the children are scared of mathematics. They feel that one, mathematics we cannot learn, it's a very difficult subject. They try to put aside it. So how a teacher will overcome with the children's this fear, how to teach it. Then another thing is, that is, this is a challenge that is not only for one teacher, it's a challenge for every teacher. That is, when we go to a class with 40 number, students are 40. In that case, we know already, first 5 students, they will be very bright students. Then again, another 5 to 6 students will be very good. There is no problem for us. And another 10 students will be there. That is, these children are good at, they can understand with the help of the teachers teaching, they will follow the things, no problem. And another 10 are there with the help of parents, some continuous practice and all these things, they also will manage. Then the last 10 students are there. These last 10 students actually becoming the below average IQ level. Some students are there with some reason, they may be intelligent, but with some reason, maybe their family background will be like that, maybe their parents are not educated. When after the class, when they go back to their home, maybe they are busy with the family chorus, like they may be going to look after the cows and buffaloes. Maybe helping the mother in the field or in the kitchen, or even some of the students we can see in the bazaar also, helping the parents in the bazaar. This way they are actually busy with some other reasons. They are becoming slowly below average student. So these below average, these 10 students, how to handle? This is another challenge teacher is facing, because that child may not be doing the homework, may not be following the classwork. So these are the challenges what we face when we enter into a class. So now, if the challenges are like this, the teacher should be what we know already. But first of all, we say a committed teacher, or a hardworking teacher, or more than that, a creative teacher. And a teacher should be a critical thinker. Then only you can introduce that critical thinking to the students. And teacher should be able to solve these already our challenges. Challenges means it's a problem for us. These problem solving skill we have to bring to ourselves first, so that we solve the problem and we can avoid it. So these are the challenges. Then we will one by one will go to how to solve these problems, and then joyfully the children will accept that is mathematics also is an easy subject that I can also learn like others. So first of all, I would like to say that is to make mathematics an interesting subject or a joyful subject. For that, when we go to class, we know already mathematics actually, according to the educationist, the best method of teaching is problem solving. Many methods of teaching are there already, lecture methods are there, analytic methods, problem solving, or project methods. So many methods are there, all of you are trained teachers, all of you know it. But according to the educationist, the mathematics is best is problem solving. So when we go with the problems to the class, what happened in the class we know already. Even if we go for addition to teach, one page, maybe 10 to 12 questions, then again to go to the next page, same 10 to 12 questions, then again third page, the same thing. Means continuously problem solving. So the students actually what happens, they get bored. Continuously they are getting boring, class become monotonous, they don't feel any interest. When they don't feel any interest, we know already what they do in the class. They will start talking with someone, they will start some papers, take and tear and start writing something, or they don't pay attention to that teacher. So this way the class become monotonous, then continuously when we go to the problem solving skill. So how this situation a teacher can handle? For that, what we have to do is to make a concept clear to the students, and the monotonous to avoid, and the boring we have to change. For that, what we have to, I feel that is we can introduce different ways. Some particular games we can put, or some demo classes we can conduct there in between. Or every day we cannot do demo classes, we will not complete our syllabus. That also is a problem. So some demo classes or some group activities. Like this we can go ahead with. For example, some mathematics, multiplication table is a big problem for all the math teachers we know already. When we want to teach multiplication table, children today learns, tomorrow forgets. Again, if you ask 1 week after, then again they forgot it. So this is a big problem. So when it comes to it, you can get into a small activity, a small game to it, to the small children. When you go for a small game, for example, if I say you want to teach 1 to 5 multiplication table. So you inform the children, give them a particular time, that is 3 days I am giving you, 2 days I am giving you. After that 1 to 5 table, there will be a game for you. In the game you have to do it. So actually I feel that the game you have told that particular day, children will be so excited, they will be waiting for the sir or miss to come and enter into the class. Before entering they will say, Miss, today is game. So they will be happy with that. Actually, even the below average student also will be happy about it. So when you enter into it, you can divide the class into particular groups. For 40 students are there, you can make into 5 groups or 8 groups. So 5 8s are 40. So if you made 5 groups, 8 students are there. So your aim is actually to revise the multiplication table so that everybody knows. So you introduce the rules and regulations of the game. You can say them that one in the group 8 are there. That means I will ask the question or I write the question on the board. That only one child from the group will be giving answer. And another thing is every student has to give answer. Means one chance or two chance only you will get one child. Then the other child has to say. Means everybody has to open their mouth. So this way, when you arrange the group game and ask them separately, maybe to these 2 benches you keep that, another 2 benches please arrange in group, ask them some questions. So they will be writing their answer or they will be saying the answer different way according to your creativity, you arrange it. Once the things are over, game is over, now it's a time for points to say. When it is the time came that one, which group A, group B, group C, which one got first. When they got first, when we say, they will be very happy, we know already. So, and here what happened, when you introduce a small game to them, here what they are understanding is, mainly what thing is, they have already participated in the game, they are excited. At the same time in the group, which group got more marks, they will be very happy. But which got last? Which group got last? Then what they feel is, that is, we got last because of this particular child did not give answer, this particular one did not give answer. So their friends itself, there will be a force. That is, you see, because of you or because of I, today our team could not get. So next day our team has to get, that means you have to learn it. So they themselves will start forcing each other. So today, next week there is the same activity if you conduct, they will be ready, the last group will be ready for this one. So this way, mathematics table, multiplication table will became an interesting thing. At the same time, child learned, class became active, children became happy. So this way you can make the class with a small game, the class will become joyful. Then another thing is group activities, this way you can conduct sometimes. Then another thing is, one of the topic, what I felt is, when come to the topic of division, we have completed addition, then completed subtraction, multiplication, then come to division. As I feel that class 2, class 3 students, what is division, they don't understand at all. They feel that one, we are not knowing what is it. So how to make this concept clear to them? This also with a demonstration, we can easily clear the concept. For example, your class already 40 students are there. From the 40 students, you call 20 students and make in a group and stand there. And I said, as the last 30 students, last 10 students are there. Below average students, you feel they are unable to do. So maybe if you give a rank to the student, you may feel this will be the 38th one or 39th one or the 40th one. So call that particular student. He may not be understanding what is division. So call that particular student and ask him, you see, I have kept your friends already 20 are standing there. From these 20 students, you divide into equally into 5 groups. The child will be very happy. He will be starting group A, 1, group B, group C, D, E. One he will put and all the 20 he will divide and he will be very happily will say, sir, madam, they see only one group is having 4 students. And how many groups are there? He will easily say 5 groups are there and 4 students are there. So actually this is division. So means a total number we are giving to them, make them understand them. This is a total number I gave to you, that is 20, and from the 20, 5 students, 5 groups I asked you. So you divided with 5 and you got the answer that each 5 groups, each group is having 4 students. So the 4 is becoming the quotient. So this way division is a concept that which child does not understand. So you can with a demonstration or with a group activity easily make them understand. Once they got the concept, that is division is this, then it is easy. And what is remainder, they don't understand at all. Now I am struggling with class 3 that they don't understand what is this remainder there. There also the same activity you can show them, that is instead of 20 you give 22 students there. Then ask already 4 groups are there, Then the child will say 2 became extra means. Because 2 are not, because 4 groups, 5 groups are there, 2 is extra, what we will do with this? So make them understand this 2 is extra, that 2 is called remainder. Means in a group, particularly we divided 20 into 5 groups and 4 became the quotient and these 2 extra became the remainder. So this way, I feel we can make the concept smaller classes. What is, so much topics are not there actually. You can take enough time for multiplication. I remember now also 25 years back I attended TTC training. At that time my professor has told me that is, even the addition we should give 3 months at this time to the child. Once the topic is clear to them, then you go to subtraction. Don't give that this week I teach addition, next week I teach subtraction, next week multiplication. Don't try to complete all the things. Because small children need to grasp and that concept should be clear to them. Give them sufficient, numerous examples. Make them to do activities after activities. Once they understood the thing, and then you can go to the next topic. So this way if we teach, even 2, 3 what mathematics we teach, even 5, 6 countries also they don't forget it. If we don't give activities, then they will not understand. The concept is not there. Only thing is we know that one, but addition is there, you put 4 is there, 4 lines you put, 3 is there, 3 lines you put, then totally you keep it. That they know. But that is addition they don't know. This addition and how it is done, this to make the concept this way we can make with the extra activities when we give in the class, that will become concept clear to every child. Then what another thing is, I said that is the next challenge. First I said already the challenge how to make the concept clear to the students and how to make the class joyful, happy. Then the next challenge what I have said is the fear of mathematics. The students are having a fear from childhood, they are getting a fear about the mathematics. So how to overtake this fear? So when we, the first of all, once we go to the class, the appearance of a teacher, that matters a lot actually. If a teacher is with a happy, joyful mood, enter to the class, friendly talk with them, how are you, and you just start and introduce a topic, and that topic also, when you start a topic, always should be connected with a previous topic. That is, if you want to teach multiplication, you start from addition. Tell them that is addition, multiplication means continuous addition. That is, when we want to do 4 3s are 12, that means 4 3 times u plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. So this is actually multiplication is a continuous addition. So the knowing topic you start and reach at the unknown topic to the students. That is the way of once we are following. And the fear. This fear what is, we know already some of the students and they never open mouth and talk to us. So what is the reason is, they may be having an image of the teacher, this teacher is very strict, this teacher does not understand me, so how to talk with him. Maybe some feelings they may be having. So like this situation, what is the main thing is, what is the teacher can do is appreciate the student. Motivate the student through appreciation. For example, if I say a child from this last group 10, that is below average student, I taught 2 days, 3 days, 4 days addition or subtraction, and after that I gave problems. 5 problems I brought on the board, I gave them time and I asked them, and that particular child is having only 1 is correct. Then what you have to, usually we teachers what we say is, you foolish fellow, only 1 is correct yours, 3 days again and again I am repeating, you didn't understand anything. So that is a negative comment actually I and you pass over this child. Instead of that, another way also we can comment on it. You can call that particular child or you can go to that particular child and say, wow, your 1 is correct today, no problem. You understood that means, okay, no problem, this another 4. Next day, 1 or 2 days you will be able to do this also. So instead of saying him a foolish fellow, you made him aware that is, okay, your 1 is correct, that means you are not so poor. That comment we are giving, you are not so poor, you can also do like others. So these way positive comments give to the students, that will encourage them. Smaller children, when we take class, they will ask, give me very good means, today give me excellent means. Otherwise they will say, today gives me stars, okay, today I need 5 stars, today I need 4 stars. So when the answer is 5 answers are correct, I give 5 stars to them. Another day 4 is correct, 4 stars. And end of the week they will sit and count all the stars. You see, my code, I got this many, this 1 week I got this many, I have 15 stars. Then the other student will say, I have 20 stars. Then what is? He got encouragement that I have got 15 and he got 20. That means I have to reach at 20. So encourage the student this way that motivate the child instead of passing on negative comments on the children. So this will help us to motivate the child and to even to overtake the fear of the teacher or overtake the fear of mathematics. Then even in the group, I think we need to encourage them. Usually we go and show the unit test papers or any test we give. Usually I used to give every week 1 test to the students. Small test, 10 mark test maybe. After once week is over, one small test, give them that topic. Then on that topic, once checking also I teach them there only. I don't check also actually. I don't know you noticed or not noticed, but 3 rows are there. I ask them collect the copies of this bench, this side 3 copies, exchange it to this side, then exchange this copies to that side, then that side copies to this side. 5 minutes I give them answers on the board, they check themselves. All of a sudden. Finish, after that copies get back. Then after that I ask them this only, that is today's 10 mark, out of 10 how many got? So maybe 4 or 5 students. I have noticed many days that is beginning always with 4 or 5 students, but even end up with 15 to 20 students all correct. Because every day I ask them that is, how many are all correct? Very happy they will stand 4 of them. So I tell the other students, okay, we'll clap for them because they have got all correct. So clap. Again I ask them that is, okay, who got marks that is from 7, 8, 9, 10? So they stand again, 7, 8, 9, 10 already clapped and they sat. So for them also, okay, they have also done well, so you can clap for them. So they are happy, they clap again for them. Then at last I ask one question that is, who got less than 4? Then they are hesitate to stand actually, they feel bad, hesitate to stand, but some others may say, yes, he got because he has checked the copy, no? So he knows already. So he asked what? He asked, okay, I said, no problem, I will not give you punishment, don't worry about it. You stand up. So they stand naturally. When they stand, I say, okay, how much? You have got 3 marks. Very good. You have got 4 marks or some have got 2 marks. So don't worry about it. Today you got only 4, no problem. But one thing we will do, I have given you 5 questions, only 2 yours is correct. So no problem, another 3, that wrong 3 is there. You write at least 3 times a question. Answer. I have solved already, you write and 3 times you do it in your copy so that next test you will be getting good mark. So the child is happy. I have seen some of the students on the spot they write 3 times and show. But what we teachers usually do, what is, instead of this 3 times, we give into sometimes 100 times you write, you are foolish fellow. 500 times you write, you are more foolish fellow than others. So like this, when we give punish the children, what happened? The children, those who are sitting in front of us actually, primary school 5 years to 10 years. 5 years to 10 years child's ability is there to carry and do the work. How much is there? From there above, we should not give them burden. So 3 times of writing for a child, there is no problem. Addition problem, 3 problems they have, he has made a mistake, that one 3 times, 9 times. So on the spot he says, yes miss, I finished only now, you check it. So this way, encourage, motivate, at the same time, teacher and mathematics should not be a burden to the child. If it becomes a burden for the child, then he feels fear on it. He will not do the homework because concept is not clear to him, he is unable to do, or maybe some reason will be there. Like last year, books submitting time. One child came late, 2 days, 3 days. We were sitting in the staff room and the teacher was reading, why you became late? Because 3 days you are late, it is a test book, you should submit early. The child said that is, I went for cultivating, means paddy, rupne gaya tha. So I didn't get that. 7th class child. So actually we are not knowing the background of the child, and after that we just blame that child has not done the homework, classwork is not done, that is not there, this is not there. We look at only what is not there. We don't look at what is there. So if you keep a positive attitude, that is what is there, look into what is there. It may be 10%, it may be 20%, it may be 30%, but what is there, for that encourage them, so that what is not there they will be able to collect on. So this way when we go, I think mathematics will become a joyful one. Then again, another problem I have told, the below average student, that is the only one way we can do, main way, that is give them numerous opportunities. Give them opportunities to solve. If addition they are not understanding, give them again and again. Repeat them again and again the same thing. We actually teach and go ahead till unit test, we wait for to repeat. So then what happened, even my own daughter in class 10, she comes and say me, Mummy, sir was teaching, at the time I understood everything. She says to me, I understood everything, but now I forgot. She understood everything when the sir, it is not sir's mistake, because sir was teaching and the child understood correctly, everything she understood. But problem came where, not with the child, not with the sir. Problem came with our brain, that is no revision was there. She forgot about it. So what we have to do is, a below average child, we should give more and more revision to the topic. Again and again, once in a week at least, when you go for teaching multiplication, once in a week, 2 questions of addition, 2 questions of subtraction, 2 questions of multiplication you give. So what happened? That forgetting memory brings back the things. So that child will recall it. So that he will not forget before the exam. Otherwise, the same thing what my daughter said, all the other students' problem will be that. Because when the teacher taught, they understood everything. It was very clear to them. But the problem is what? Lack of revision. Lack of revising it, child forgot about it. That is the problem. 500 rupees, and what is the value of it? When he goes or she goes to the shop and they send, give some money and he return back how much is to check all these things, they may not be knowing. So we have practical examples we want to give. We have play monies, so much play monies, even children are having very good. So in the class itself, a demonstration we can give to make that concept clear. That is, tell them to bring some play money, they will bring. You can create a shop in the class itself. Make them in the side, one shopkeeper is standing, give them some change money, that is play money to them, and that particular child, and ask these children, give some things in the class itself, pick up some pencil, rubber, and please put a price for it. One pencil 5 rupees, one rubber 3 rupees, another one thing, something that is 5 rupees. Like this, you keep the things there. And then ask a child to go and buy, give him money, give him a 20 rupees, tell him to go and buy what do you want. Then he may be going and buying one pencil, one rubber, or one this sharpener. And the sharpener is 5 rupees, pencil is 5 rupees, and 2 rupees for, or 3 rupees for. And now ask him, ask the student, one who is standing there, good, you calculate your money, how much is the cost, and give him balance money. So that child will be calculating and give balance money. Now ask the customer, one who went there, ask him, that is, you check your money, have you got the correct balance? Ask the students how much he has given. Okay, 20 rupees he has given, so his expenditure, how much he has got is 30 rupees, then balance 7 rupees is there or no. So is it correct or no? Ask the other students. So this way we can demonstrate the things in the class and make them clear the concept to them. So that was one of the practical example I said. So make the children with the practical examples. What is daily they are doing, only that is. Going to the shop with 20 rupees, 30 rupees, they are buying things. But that one show and make the others understand, that is, money is this and balance is this way, we have to calculate this way, take this way. So all these things. So these are the things actually we supposed to add in between to make mathematics a joyful subject, so that children understood and teacher became happy because children are getting good marks. So teacher is happy, principal will be happy with that. So this way we can. So what I said is about the below average students, always keep in mind weekly revision. Thus that will make their mind sharp to remember the things. Weekly revision, even not only below average, as I said, even to the cleverest students also it is necessary. Weekly if you can give a small revision, little time you give, so with that the whole week will be prepared for. When come to the unit test, don't wait for the unit test to come, then I will revise. So in short, whatever I taught, once again I would like to revise it. As I said already, weekly revision. At the end of the class also we should revise what I have taught. So the same way I would like to, first I said about the teaching learning process, that is infinite. Every day, every hour we are learning from something or the other, from somebody or the other. So that is an infinite process. So for us also, even from the junior most teacher also we have something to learn. Look at them, watch them. Many of the things are different than us. He may be doing, she may be doing. So don't feel that one. When I stand here, I feel proud. That is what means last 23 years I am a teacher. How can I? So I have a lot of knowledge, experience I feel. But you also same thing, you feel that no, I am better qualified. I am an MA B.Ed, MSc B.Ed. I have more qualification. I know many things. Yes, of course everybody knows many things, but nobody knows everything. So you can learn. Always you can learn. So keep a mentality of learning always. Then second thing what I said is the importance of mathematics. That I said already, the importance of mathematics in day-to-day life, we have to face it, and even to the job opportunities, children are getting better opportunities with the math students. So always we should prefer to teach them mathematics. Then again coming to the challenges of a teacher, as I mentioned, 3-4 challenges what we face. First one was, that is a concept to make it clear. We are finding difficult mathematics because it more or less feels like abstract. We are not able to touch and feel it like science. So what happens, it feels it is an abstract thing, so that we should make concept with the numerous practical examples. We make the concept clear to the students. Secondly, I said that is make the class interesting, happy, joyful by giving them small games, group activities in between, and inspire them. Then the third thing what I said is, that is the fear of mathematics. That was the third point, that is mathematics. Many of us and many of the students, many of the parents have a fear on mathematics that I cannot do. It is very difficult subject. So that fear we have to overtake from them by encouraging to them. Always don't look at the 80%, 90%. When he reach, I will encourage him. No. Even if he is having 10%, encourage for that. Today's 10%, next day will become 20%, third day will become 30%. So what is less also you encourage them. Give them support. So that child will feel on, this teacher has interest on me. He is asking me questions. He is helping me. He is encouraging me. He is saying me very good. Some of the, when we go for walking or somewhere, we say no. If I see the superior one who is above me, if he gives a small smile and give me a good morning, all day will go away. One of the teacher even told it to me also here in this school, not now, 2-3 years back. Told that is, if principal gives a smile and give, when we say good morning, no, a smile and a good morning, my all day will go with that. But if his mood is off and he does not say that with a smile, good morning, all day will go away with that. So this is the children also saying. When we go to the class, with a smile, if you give a good morning, you ask him how are you, or you encourage him, oh, very good, this will keep in their mind. And that whole day, even the whole subject will be interested with that teacher. Even if the subject is boring, if the teacher is interesting, subject will be interesting for the child. Then another thing what I said is, that is how to deal with the below average students. So, as I said, below average students always give numerous examples. So that examples again and again are revised, then they will be able to come to the level of the other students. So notice it, that 10 who is that below average should be in our mind each class. We should, as I said, that is the first, that is brilliant student. They don't need our help actually. They need, actually we need their help, so that they will not disturb our class. Otherwise they will disturb, because they are brilliant, they know the things, so they will disturb us. So we actually need their help. No, they don't need our help. So we need actually teachers help needed for these last 10. Others they will manage. Some will take tuition, some will take help of parents, some will take help of internet, Google. They will manage. But these last 10, what they do? For them we need to give help. So this way, motivate them, encourage them, and try to bring. This 10 should bring up into the level of others. That should be according to a committed teacher. Our aim should be that. That is that last 10. So this only I want to say. So all of you, all the best for the become a committed, hardworking, creative, critical thinking teacher. You should become. Problem solving should be, for a teacher it should be problem solving should be we are able, then only we can make the students solve their problems. So all the best to all.
Any clarification to that?
So yes,
What?
anybody wants to ask anything?
Anything you want to
Don't
ask?
ask so much about my head.
Anything to comment?
No doubts at all, it's clear I think. That means I'm a good teacher.
If we try to find out, many demerits come, but overall I saw the best teaching and explanation. Overall it was quite nice.
Thank you, sir.